Okay, it says we're live. Hopefully that is true. Hello, happy 11th, happy Veterans Day, happy my cousin's birthday. So I just remembered again today. I was like, oh, I need to send her a text message. So I just did that right before the stream. So yeah. So happy Monday. Happy Monday. Yesterday I got a crochet bug again, just sort of like, I feel like crocheting something new. And I still haven't finished the very first blanket. That's like just single stitch, but just different colored skeins. But I have this really pretty gradient large skein from Lion's brand. And I decided to do like a seashell shape. There's a shell shaped stitch that you can do. It's not really a stitch, but it's a series of stitches that makes it look like a little mini arc, and then you do it together and you sort of like it alternates. Anyway, so it looks like waves or shells or whatever. So it starts out like a creamy beige and then alternates colors into sort of like a gradient. It's really pretty. So here's what I have thus far in terms of the shell shape. So again, it's going to be a blanket because I'm insane and haven't finished the one I started earlier. But that's what we do, right? We start projects and we don't finish them. We're trying to work on that. Anyway, so I started that, but I'm kind of like it's kind of weird in that let me see if I can explain. So I've attached it to the top of a previous shell, and then the next stitch I have to make is over here. So it creates a gap in between them. And I guess the further you go, it becomes less noticeable, but it still feels like there's an awful large gap in between the shells. And I'm like, I've watched the tutorial over again. I'm like, I can't figure out if I'm doing something wrong, if I'm just like holding my tension wrong or like doing my double crochet wrong. I don't know. Anyway, I'm still kind of having fun with it. So there's that. I also started taking notes on a book that I had just purchased. So I'm probably, if I'm going to be honest, I kind of want to get a little further into that because at the moment I'm on page 10. I had full intentions of getting up early this morning. I did get up early, but I did not go straight into study mode. So we're not done with that. So I'm like, do I put this aside and pick it up later? But at the same time, I'm like, I kind of feel like I got on a roll because I've spent the last 45 minutes on this. So yeah, but yeah, I'm only on page 10 after 45 minutes. So this is going to be a long haul. Anyway, hello. Kara says, I wasn't able to make it yesterday because I had to go to Fort Collins with son and his dad to get flu shots and stock up for the month. But of course, I forgot things anyway, even with all the stuff we bought. Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Unless you have like the perfect list with you and you are very good about always checking the list. But even then, like sometimes the stores don't have what you want. Like they're out or they've changed suppliers or their shipment was delayed or whatever. So Monique says, I had a D&D session yesterday, then took a nap shortly after. Excellent. Megan popped in and said, I'll be able to show up to today's stream since I don't have class. And then, never mind, I'm going grocery shopping. Yeah. Yep. It happens. It does, because groceries are necessary. Also, if you can hear it, I apologize. But our, like, 1, 2, or 2 doors down across the street, neighbor is having some trees taken down. Well, one taken down that was already taken down. And then he said he wanted the top 45 feet of the other tree taken off, which I think is just going to lead to him having to have the rest of the tree taken out. But you know what? That's his money. If he wants to call him twice for the same job, that's up to him. So, you know. Happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day. Kara says, I include something of all of the listed things in your character profiles. Yes. Some people have very basic, some people have very extensive character profiles. So yeah. Monique's character profiles include their astrology, Myers-Briggs personality trait index, and their Enneagram. Have you ever done the Strengths Finder? It's another book about personality traits, but it's also sort of more, it's kind of an interesting, different take on sort of like the personality trait side of things. So if you haven't looked at Strengths Finder, or Strength Finders, I think they're at like 2.0 at this point, maybe. But yeah. Alexandria says, hello and happy Monday. Hello, happy Monday. It was your cousin's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to your cousin. You gave her friendship bracelets. Her brother gave her a Lego set of a race car. Your godson will love that when he's older. Yes. Monique is currently planning out the 4th of July party for your summer rom-com. I was going to say, it's a long way away from summer. But if you're already planning for the 4th of July, no, it's for your summer rom-com. Okay. It's going to be a total social media train wreck. Gotcha. It's a textbook for a certification that I'm thinking of getting. So it's not really that interesting yet. But again, I'm only in 10 pages in. So, but yeah. So, and I'm not sure I'm going to get it either. That's why I bought the textbook instead of trying to pay for the classes. I was like, let me just pay $40 for the textbook, read it, see if I am interested. And if so, then I will set about attaining it. If not, I'm just going to like toss all the info out my brain. So that's how I'm thinking. Because the cheapest class I could find was like $2,000. And that was not with the textbook or with the exam fee. So it's like, yeah, no, $40 versus $2,000. I think I'll spend the $40 first. Whereas a degree, if I decided to go back, the cheapest degree that would include this would be like $25,000 to $28,000. I'm like, meh. Strength Finder requires money. Gotcha. Too broke at the moment. Gotcha. I think I remember that because I think I was ticked because I bought the book twice. Because I bought it once and then couldn't find my printout of my results and then couldn't log back in because they had swapped to like 2.0 or whatever. And so I had to buy it again to get a new code. I think I remember that. Yeah. You are correct. Now that you say that, I remember it. Yeah. Yep. Okay, what else? What else is new since yesterday? Not much. I still haven't put my laundry away. It moved off my bed for the night and then back onto the bed for this morning. So I still haven't put it up. Sad. All right, y'all. So the profile picture poll is about character profiles today. So what do you include in your character profiles typically? Is it basic stuff about the body yada yada? Is it like eye color, hair color and texture, body shape, that kind of thing? Is it more of like the secrets, like who's going to backstab, who's going to fall in love, that kind of stuff? Or is it like a tragic backstory, fully fleshed out? Or their flaws, motivations, and your growth plan for said character, which may or may not include backstabbing and falling in love or whatever. So those are your options for character profile. And again, if you include something fun, like, I don't know, whether your character always wears a certain accessory, or maybe like tattoo markings, if they're important to your story, like what marking they have or what element of magic they wield, that kind of stuff, let me know in the comments. So, okay. We need to pull a card, right? I think I'm going to pull from the Lucid Dreamers deck because it's out here. Ooh, okay, so 2 of Pentacles. It is a card of choices, a card of multitasking, decisions, weighing your options, and multiple priorities, which is kind of what I feel like I have today, for sure. But anything that is a 2 is always a balance. Question of balance. Of making sure you have a little bit of everything, or making sure that you are not fully obsessed and immersed in only one thing. So there is our 2 of Pentacles. Very intricate jester looking character. I'm trying to figure out, I think it has one of the fans with the fabric flowing from the edge of the fan. I think that's what the green aspect is. I love the little flash of the gilding on there. It's great. So, Monique drew the Lovers. Alexandra says the cards are pretty. Yes, they're absolutely gorgeous. I bought this deck because I saw, I'm trying to remember if it was the Hermit or the Hierophant. But like, here's another one that's gorgeous. Here's the Hanged Man. And I'll put it in the inverse position so you can actually see the character a little bit better. So there's the Hanged Man. But she's like hanging from the tree. So you have the horned moon behind her. Very cool. Here's the High Priestess. It's going to focus. There we go. So it's gorgeous. And it's nice because it has the keywords for both the regular reading and the inverted reading. It's got the keywords on each side so that if you are a beginner, this is very beginner friendly. So yeah, so I really like it. This is the Lucid Dreams Beginner Tarot, and it's from a brand called Saint Soleil. And I will find a link to it and pop that in the chat. Because I know I've shared it before, but it's a really pretty deck. It's very gorgeous. Saint Soleil Lucid Dreams. It popped up in my my autofill because I have looked it up so many times. Okay, so here is the link. I think this is to the US version of the shop. So, but they do have like a Canadian and an Australian, because I think they're originally Australian. And they, I remember I had to wait for the deck because they were moving and opening an office in LA. So I had to wait for my deck to be shipped. But yeah. Ooh, they have a version in black. Ooh. I have not seen that. I want to see. Okay, so the borders. Okay, so if you like the darker version, if you don't want like super beige everything, they apparently do have, and you can save 10% on your first $100 order. They do have, see if we can get this to, oh, well, that's not very zoomed in there. Ooh, that's a little too close there. Okay. Can we not go quite that? There we go. So the border is black, and I want to say maybe the beige is a little less bright. Maybe. It still does look like it has gilding. So there's that. Yeah. Darker version. They also have a darker version now. So there you go, which I did not realize they had one. So there's our card for today, multitasking. So I think what it's telling me to do is get to page 16 or 17, and then maybe I can swap. Maybe. We'll do at least 6 more pages of the textbook and see how long it takes me to get there. All right. Let's do this. So again, I'm going to be working in my notebook. So I've already written 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of like short notes. I'm trying to keep them organized with like indentations and everything. So yeah, so we're on our 4th page of notes for page 10. At some point, I'm sure I'll stop taking as detailed notes, but that's where we are. Okay, we're going to start with the new sweater weather lady. So we're going to start with the 25. And y'all will have to let me know, because I didn't hear anybody comment on it yesterday, was the audio, the music. If it's annoying, let me know and I'll turn it off. In terms of, like, I'll just mute it in StreamYard. And then we can, so that way when we do the 30-minute timer, if you don't like the music, we can play it silently. Okay. Brain. The card is giving me an idea for what Darcy and Ben will be doing for the 4th of July. They both know they're going to be competing against each other, so I'm going to see them do a duet. Nice. Here's the link to the Saint Soleil. This is the beige deck, but you can find the black deck on the same website. Stacy's stopping by to hit the like button, but you have a headache. Oh no, so you're getting ready to take a nap. Also, you wanted to work this afternoon. Oh no. Hopefully you feel better after your nap. The black is pretty. It is pretty. Self-pub with Andy. Hello, welcome. You threw a panda at the like button. Oh no. But you're going to be in lurk mode. Okay, great. All right, let's go ahead and do this. So 1, save your document if you've already been working. If not, go ahead and pull up whatever document you think you might be working on now or later. And 2 is make sure that you have something to hydrate with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 25 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. I am now on page 17. Yay. So I did manage to get through the 6 pages that I wanted to get done. So yay, at least in that chunk. It definitely took me less time than I thought, but part of that was because page 14 through 16 were pretty repetitive, like essentially same information just for different sections. But I did have to go and look something up because I was like, where is this thing that they're referencing? Also found out that this does not have its own like vocabulary index. So I'm going to have to create my own, which is not terrible, but if I create my own, then that means that later I will be able to make flashcards easier if I decide to go that route. So it's not terrible, but but yeah. So, and then I'm also having to piecemeal like their different headings. So it's like, is that the same? And I think it's supposed to be, so yeah, so I think I have to include this in this note. Okay. So yeah, but so I'm now on page 4 of my own notebook of the notes, which actually means 6 because I did not number the first 2. Yeah. So I need to update this. This is going to be on page 4. So yeah. Okay. That's taken care of. My notebook index or notebook table of contents is up to date now. How'd you do? Jenna came in. Rachel came in. Said hello. Funky is here. Can't believe it. You actually get to start nanoing today. Ooh, nice. Okay, let's see. Jenna is working on an edit for a client. Nice. Fun time. I hope it's going well. Monique is having way too much fun setting up this 4th of July scene. Levi is going to be dressing up like Hamilton, and then he'll be fighting one of his friends with a lightsaber. It's going to be both hilarious and ridiculous. You're also Googling true crime cases that the Mary of your novel, Macario, can talk about. He's also making a shirt relating to his podcast and wearing it to the party. So he's making merch, essentially. But Funky, do you have coffee with your nanoing? Janice has finished editing one chapter. On to the next. It's going smoothly. Yay! Excellent. Rachel is moving into blurb work next. Ooh. Alexandria, close your eyes for 1 second and wake up with the sprint finished. Now to work on your work in progress. Nice. Funky wants to know what Rachel is blurbing today. What are you blurbing? What are you blurbing? I've been thinking about making a Danish. I've never made a Danish before, but I've got some apple pie filling in a can. So I could potentially make an apple Danish. I think we've got some cherry too, but I think my parents would much rather keep the cherry pie filling for actual cherry pies. But I've never made a Danish. So I don't know if I have to like proof the dough ahead of time, bake the dough ahead of time, and then bake it a second time with the gooey filling, or do I just like pop it in the oven all at the same time? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But if anybody has any experience baking Danishes, let me know. Coffeeing will commence around 2:30. Nice. A lovely set of cozy contemporary romance books. Fantastic. Just not happy with my hair. I guess I'm just fiddling because I want to fiddle, not really because it's anything important. Rachel says, a lovely set of cozy contemporary romance books is what you are blurbing. What's proposal? What's blurbing as a new greeting? I'm not sure that it will go over very well, but maybe. They are standalone stories, but all of them include an adult and child from the same family. Nice. An adult child? Or an adult and child? Or a child that grows up to be an adult? Now I'm just thinking of all the possible ways. New even. Oh, new versus new. I thought you meant to type it that way. I can't type. Yeah. That's how my fingers feel some days. I'm just like, too many typos. Way too many typos. Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, well. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to change the color of these digitally as well. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move to the second sprint. The second sprint is the self-promo. Siblings in the same family. Okay. Gotcha. How did y'all care for? Did you care for the music? Or did it bother you? I guess is the question I'm asking. Is did the music bother you enough that you want me to mute it for the second sprint? Because the 30-minute sprint has the same music, lo-fi situation. You liked it? Okay, great. Again, I feel like I know I mentioned it yesterday, but I just want to mention it again on Monday for those who weren't here yesterday. I used an audio from the YouTube library, but it's one that you have to do an attribution for in the description. So if you want to use these most recent sweater weather timers, you do have to have the description of the music in your description. Otherwise, it'll be a copyright issue. So if you are planning to use these in your live stream, just that's a heads up. So, and I have it in my description, so if you just want to copy paste it, it should be fine. So, you're blasting Lovecraftian dirges, so play whatever you want. Nice. You love lo-fi music. Okay, good. Yeah, that was it was one of only, I think four title tracks that YouTube had under the calm category that were over like 22 minutes long. It's like one of only four tracks. So, oh well. But yeah. Anyway, maybe there'll be more in the future. Who knows? But let's go ahead and do a second sprint. Don't forget, second sprint is your self-promo sprint. So if you have YouTube channel, Twitch channel, Etsy store, Amazon author page, website, blog, social media handle, any of that kind of stuff, please don't forget to post about it. Also, don't forget that if you are not subscribed, maybe you should consider it. Not just to myself, but to whoever you are going to their sprints, whoever is hosting, make sure you're subscribed. And also make sure you are also following your fellow sprinters, the ones you see often in the chat with you. You were just playing music from Animal Crossing last sprint. Nice. You've written about 1,000 words total today in your contemporary romance. Nice. Things are getting steamy between, is it Jorg and Pierce? You started so many craft projects I haven't finished. Yes. Yes, I very much understand that. Glances over at my new project and the seashell stitch blanket. All right, let's go ahead and do this. So 1, save your document. 2, make sure you take a sip. Stay hydrated. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4, make sure that if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, how'd that go? I've got a partial note to finish. Okay. now we are ready for the next section. This is definitely taking me longer than like this section, but that's okay. I mean, this is a lot of new information, so a lot of what I'm doing is reading, sort of getting a vague idea of what I want to write down as a note that sort of encapsulates my understanding, rereading, looking for key terms, solidifying, then writing it down finally. So it's slow, but I did finish a page and 3/4 of notes. Again, like bullet points, so it's not like solid prose, but 1.25 of notes is not bad. But don't ask me what page I'm on because it's not great. Yeah, this is a very dense book. So I'm sort of now mentally revising my plan, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna skim through this. I'll finish this book in a week. It's probably gonna take me more than a week. Probably. So yeah, but I am at least, like, it's written in a way that I can understand it, which is good, because some textbooks are a little out there. They want to be a little too esoteric to really convey the information that they are supposed to be conveying. So it may take me a while to grasp everything, but so far what it has put forth is relatively straightforward, just very, like, a lot of information. So don't forget to pop in a link or a self-promo for whatever it is that you want to self-promo, as long as it's writing adjacent. Also, don't forget to answer the poll for today, in case you haven't already done so. You like the music in this timer? Yay! Excellent. Macario's podcast episode will talk about the death of the presidents, and his shirt will say Macabre Talk 4th of July Special Edition, Day of the Dead Presidents. Interesting. Meanwhile, to show how bougie they are, Darcy, Cameron, and Calvin are wearing Yankees shirts. Like the sports team? Does that mean bougie? From somebody who has, like, no sports world association, that doesn't necessarily say bougie to me. But again, like, maybe Yankees are bougie and I just don't know about it. Maybe those with some connection to the sports world would know that it's, I mean, I guess they are a very well recognized name, right? So sure. Funky says, got some editing done. Had fun writing a character's first line of their chapter in a loose iambic pentameter. Oh, especially since they are named after a Shakespeare character. Very fun. Just make sure you don't do it too often, or you will be essentially required to make all of their dialogue iambic pentameter. And unless you have that innate sense of rhythm or have studied Shakespeare to no end, that will not feel natural. So just yeah. Alexander just says, wrapped up something and then 77 new words. Nice. Excellent. Okay, so yes, Yankees are bougie. You grew up watching Yankees games. Ask someone who's more into baseball. The Yankees were longtime powerhouses and represent bougie New York. Gotcha. Yeah. Yes, that's the thing, is like, honestly, anybody who has, like, season tickets seems bougie to me, because those tickets are expensive sometimes. Like, for any sports, just like a season of any sport is expensive. if you're just going to go and spectate. It's even more expensive if you play, but I just mean like, but prices nowadays, if you take your family of 4 or 5 to the stadium, tickets are expensive, and then like you can't bring any like snacks with you unless you hide them, in which case snacks and drink there are expensive. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just seems like then I don't know what other sports team would be more bougie than Yankees. At the moment, like the one that's always in the news that I see all the time are like the Kansas City Chiefs because Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Like, I don't even know. The football season. We're gonna have like the bowl games at the end of the year, beginning of the year. So like, who's top dog hasn't necessarily been determined yet in terms of like football. Basketball isn't until March. So like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who would be bougier than Yankees. So sure, Yankees are bougie. I don't know. Funky says, lol, never in terms of writing everything they say in iambic. I just thought it'd be a fun Easter egg for the first line of their chapters. Gotcha. You only went to one baseball game in person. It wasn't even the Yankees. It was the Astros. I've been to the Turner Stadium in Atlanta for a Braves game. But that was like right after we moved here. So I would have been like 2nd or 3rd grade. I think maybe we went one other time when we were a little older, but I'm pretty sure it's because Mom got tickets somehow through Delta. I don't know. Don't know. A lot of people wear the New York jersey and don't even watch them. Chiefs or football. Yeah. Yeah. I knew that. Yankees faced off against Dodgers this year. Okay. Kara says, I don't even go to movie theaters anymore because it's too expensive, right? And too far away from your podunk town. Never mind going to sports events. Yeah. Yeah. Everything's more expensive. That's the other idea. Darcy, you think, grew up watching the Yankees and went to some in person. Cameron and Calvin were originally from Singapore. So that would be very like a very American thing that they might want to absorb, maybe. Or is baseball really big in Singapore? I don't know. So there you go. I do. So here's a weird connection with me and baseball. I guess it's not really weird. It's like 7 degrees away or whatever. One of the guys that we went to high school with was really big into baseball. He's also really smart, like really smart. He played the jock, but he was in all the honors classes, all the AP classes. He was extremely smart. Anyway, his older brother went into professional baseball and then got scouted and played for a team in Hiroshima, which is where Bestie went to do her teaching with the JET program. I think that's right. But yeah, anyway, so she was like, yeah, I feel like I kind of have to root for his team because he's like from the hometown. But yeah, so I don't know if the guy that we were in classes with ever, I think he went into something like finance. I don't know. Anyway, also as a nod to Caroline Bingley wearing the orange dresses in the 1995 Pride and Prejudice, Calvin wears orange Crocs. Okay. Are they like a croc collaboration? Like with the Doc Martin type things? The Croc Martins? Um, because to me, Crocs don't say bougie. So if you want bougie, then maybe the Croc Martins in orange. I don't know if they make them in orange. But anyway, that's just an idea. Again, like my idea of bougie is probably very far from what bougie actually is. So don't listen to me because I don't know anything about bougie other than I'm not it. So, all right, let's go ahead and he's a sneakerhead though. I mean, like I feel like maybe if you're a sneakerhead, if he's a sneakerhead, would he have Crocs then? Because wouldn't he just like wear an orange sneaker? I don't know. Again, I'm also not a sneakerhead. So if you couldn't tell by like this is my obsession of spending money on, not shoes. So all right, let's go ahead and do another sprint. I'm going to see if I can get another page done. We shall see. All right, but I am going to swap back to the 25-minute to make sure I don't run over into the 3 o'clock hour too much. Funky says, I would not see him wearing Crocs if he's a sneakerhead. Okay. All right, let's do this. So, 1, save your document. 2, take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back to that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4, make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 25 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. That is the end of that sprint. So I just finished, or almost finished. I have like one more note to make on my last full page of notes. So I'm trying to figure out where I started today at the beginning of the stream. You like somewhere in here. So I think I got about 5 pages, 4 or 5. I don't know. I was somewhere in there. But I have managed to get into like solidly into the first like large chunk of information for this textbook. But it is definitely going to be taking me longer than I anticipated to go through this. I think I told you I started on page 10 at the beginning of the stream, and I'm now on the second half of page 18. And I've taken like what feels like a crap ton of notes. But that's okay. It's okay. It's new information trying to absorb. I also like tore off like 2 or 3 pages because I didn't like how the notes looked at the beginning of the page. This is why I don't, when I'm writing in pen, I do not write on the back of papers when I'm like doing notes, because if I don't like the way it looks, I just want to rip the page out and redo, and I don't want to have to redo both sides. So there is that. I'm trying to think. Where's the next? Okay, I think the next chunk starts on page 23. So I don't have too much more to go before this first small chunk is done. Yeah. So maybe I'll at least get to that today, but we shall see. We shall see. But that's going to be for after dinner. After dinner, second study session, or third, technically, I guess. But yeah, this is definitely, because when I broke it down, they have like a 4-week plan of like how to study as much information as this textbook covers. They're like, if you have 8 weeks, you can spend 2 weeks on a section. And I'm like, I'm gonna get it done all in a week, which would mean like 70 pages, like somewhere between 60 and 70 pages per day. And I'm like, ugh. Considering I'm only on page 18 after several hours of studying. There's a lot. Anyway, but again, new information takes me a while to absorb. And I think once I get into it a little bit more, again, I will likely stop taking as heavy notes and then like start picking up the pace, just because I'm tired of being slow. So yeah. Anyway, Tessa is here and says hello, and you had your consultation for your power wheelchair. If Medicare agrees, I should have the power chair in about 2 months, which would be nice. Give you a little bit more mobility. And yes, you still win at least 1 or 2 games per bingo session. Yay! Excellent. Rachel's headed out to cook. Thanks for the sprints, and I'll catch everybody later. Enjoy the day. Yes, you too. Also, don't let me forget to do the poll. So if you have not voted yet in the poll, now's your last reminder to do so, because I will end that shortly. Ben and Darcy are singing Jackson for their karaoke duet. It fits where they are in the story. Gotcha. Okay. Precious says, hi, everybody. And your goal was brainstorming. Excellent. Monique says, I think once I hit 18K, I'll take a break. Nice. Precious is pretty good. Good. I'm glad. I'm realizing that this textbook is going to take me a lot longer not to read. So I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I started at page 10. I'm on page 18 now in terms of like a new textbook. And I'm like, I'm not talking about it a whole lot because I'm not sure if it's something that I'm actually going to pursue or not. But I figured, again, getting the study guide and textbook and paying like 40 or so bucks would be better than paying thousands of dollars for a class and then deciding I don't want it. So, got last in a chapter and then grabbed some lunch. Excellent. Good. Food is good. Editing done. Coffee procured. All is right with the world for Funky. Yay! Funky says to Jenna, where did you find the lunch while lost in the chapter? Good point. Good point. Maybe between the reams? Between the lines? Meal planning for the win. Excellent. Good. Did you eat some letters? Maybe. The power share will also help both physically and oxygen-wise. You have issues breathing, exerting yourself. Yeah. Yeah. So that would help in multiple ways then. Good. Good. All right. So when it comes to what do you typically include in your character profiles? Let's see if it's going to do it for me. Body-ish, eyes, hairs, body shape, etc. Secrets about who's going to be backstabbing, who's going to be lover, all that kind of stuff. Tragic backstories, fully fleshed out, or flaws, motivations, and growth plans. What do you typically include in your character profile? And it says 52% of us typically include flaws, motivations, and growth plans. 33% do the body-ish, all the eyes, hairs, shapes, etc. 9% tragic backstories, and 4% secrets. Wednesdays is what character is the hardest to write for you? Like, is it your main character? Is it your love interest? Is it the villain? Is it some side character which you may need to reoccur later? So you need to know a little bit about them, but not a whole lot about them. Like, who's harder to write for you? Or kids, if you have kids in there. Is it hard to write kids in age-appropriate and mentally developed manners? Is it hard to do that? That's why I always tend to age up the kids in my story, because I'm like, they need a little bit more brain power. So anyway, so that's going to be Wednesday's topic. And then Fridays is, how do you feel about romance in other genres? Like, if it's not supposed to be a romance, do you like romance inserted into your epic fantasy? Do you like romance inserted into your mystery, that kind of thing? So that's the upcoming topics for the polls. All right, y'all. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to go for a walk around the neighborhood and then come back to studying and or dinner. So, all right. Bye. Thank you very much.